Hello, this is Jericho Plays, and today we're going to be doing a vintage cube. It is my favorite format. Basically, it is one of a bunch of very powerful cards. So if I take the Scalding Tarn, it's the only Scalding Tarn that's available, at least within this draft, but it is a league, so you can play against other people with Scalding Tarns. But vintage denotes the power level, so there's incredibly powerful cards in the set. So, for example, you could open a Black Lotus. And so this is my favorite way to play Magic, and I hope that we can have some fun. There's nothing here that excites me beyond the Scalding Tarn. Fetch lands are very powerful in this because it allows you to go in several different colors and take basically the best cards from each of those. I don't see anything here that is just phenomenal. Goblin Welder is pretty interesting, but it's not like a Splinter Twin or something. I'm just going to take the Scalding Tarn and be happy. Lion's Eye Diamond is interesting. Ooh, I could take Tendrils and I could try to force Storm. I keep trying to play Storm, although the Lion's Eye Diamond is something that we would really want for Storm. I don't see anything else that I absolutely have to have. Steam Vents would be interesting. Underground Sea would be interesting. But if I take Tendrils this early, then I can maybe actually build a good Storm deck. But it's really difficult. I've played Storm a couple times already in this cube, and I don't do great. So we'll see. I'll take it for right now. Mindslaver is interesting. I could take Pyretic Ritual. You want rituals for Storm. Regrowth is also interesting. I actually really like Regrowth in Storm decks because it allows you to buy back something like Tendrils of Agony or some other card that you maybe needed to play before you are ready to storm off. Zealous Conscripts is also interesting. That's a combo piece as well with Splinter Twin. Yes, with Splinter Twin and Kiki Jiki. So I'd be happy to take Zealous Conscripts here. There should be other rituals. I don't need to commit super hard to Storm right now. Cryptic Command is very powerful. Eidolon of the Great Revel, I could go mono red and kind of be like a fun police type deck. Torrential Gearhulk is also interesting. I don't really like any of these cards though. Cryptic Command is probably the best card. If we end up going Splinter Twin, then blue red is going to be the base. Blue black, probably not for Storm, but we could. Eidolon is quite good. We could be red, but I'm going to take Cryptic, and we'll see. Metalworker's interesting. I don't like the packs we're getting. I'm very unhappy by a lot of this. Could take Figure of Destiny and just go into mono red. Nothing for Storm in here. Metalworker is interesting. Terramander is interesting if we wanted to be more of like a control-y tempo deck. That may not be bad. I don't really like playing mono red, so I'm much more interested in playing the Terramander. Trinket Mage is interesting. Baleful Strix is very good. Maybe end up blue-black controlled, something like that. There's nothing else here that I want. Trinket Mage is very, very good. If we had gotten that Lion's Eye Diamond, we can go search for it. But I really like Baleful Strix. It's just such a solid card. Baral, okay. Fallen Shinobi is also interesting. Baral would be really good in a Storm deck. Fallen Shinobi is just a really cool card to play. I'm going to take Baral, though. Baral is good even without being in Storm. It just really helps these kind of decks. We want a lot of instants and sorceries for the Terramander. I guess I'm going to take Tasigur here. I think we're going to be more of like a blue-black tempo-y control type thing. Murderous Roar. Okay, okay, that's actually a good wheel for the deck that we're playing now. Ah, the Lion's Eye Diamond came back. I don't know. I like this deck. We're gonna play. We're gonna take Ophiomancer. The Ophiomancer is just such a solid card. Duress. Yeah, I like this better than trying to force Storm. Maybe we end up going. What is that? Esper? We'll see. Watch us open a Black Lotus, and I'll cry about not playing Storm. So, a lot of good opens. Probably any of the Tezzerets would be good. I don't know if Time Vault is actually in this set, but that would be interesting if we could try to make that work. Let's see. Brazen Borrower is actually a very good card. Ponder is also really, really good. Ravenous Chupacabra gives us more removal. Metamorph is very good. Teferi Time Raveler would be a nice inclusion if we did want to go Esper and we had some sort of combo since your opponent can't interact basically on your turn. Then if you have a combo, Teferi Time Raveler is really, really good to protect it. We could maybe even wheel Tidehollow Sculler. I feel like right now it's between Ponder and Teferi. But I'm not sure. I definitely want to fill my yard, which Ponder would do better. And I'm trying to think of any blue-black combos in the set, and I'm not sure that there are any. I guess we could try to force Storm, but not with this deck. I think I'm going to take Ponder. Ooh, Vendilion Clique. Oh, High Tide. That's the, yeah, that's the combo that we would be playing in this deck. Also, Frantic Search, a phenomenal Storm card. Do I take High Tide here? I don't think so. I think I'd rather just play a very fair control deck. But so it's between Click and Jace Bryn's Prodigy for me, I think. Smuggler's Copter is also really, really good. I think I want the Jace. It just provides a lot of utility versus the Vendilion Clique, which is a clock, but we're gonna have hope. Well, the hope is that we do a turn 1 Terramander, and then we pump it up. And being able to pitch stuff with Jace can get the Terramander down. There is Fast Bond as well. To try to do like a Fast Bond Strip Mine lock, but I think I'm just happy taking Jace here. Ooh, Recurring Nightmare. I think Narset is an excellent pickup. Prevents our opponents from drawing a lot of cards, which a lot of the decks in Vintage Cube want to do. It also means that if we get wheels or something like that, we can strip our opponent's hands. Ashiok is a win condition. Oh, there's the Palinchron. So if we had taken High Tide, Palinchron is kind of the other end of that, because you make it so your islands tap for more than 1, and since you untap up to 7 lands, you can make infinite mana with Palinchron. So I could take that in the hopes that High Tide wheels. We would still need something to dump infinite mana into, but I guess we actually have that with Tasigur. Interesting. I wonder if Thassa's Oracle is in the set. Ooh, I really enjoy Ashiok. But no, I'm going to take Ashiok. I really like Ashiok a lot. Damnation's a great pickup. Am I recording? Yes. Um, I I don't know what. Okay, I got an email. It's weird. I really like Damnation. Gitaxian Probe is another cheap thing to deal with, but Damnation allows us to not die to the creature heavy decks. Scarab God. Okay. I'm liking this very fair blue-black deck. Daze is also really nice. Don't mind a Caracas. Buried Alive is interesting. Just a big old Rotting Regisaur. This could be a really interesting deck. Hymn to Torak? Alright, I'm feeling good. Ravenous Chupacabra came back. Oh, the High Tide came back. I'll take it now. Maybe the Palancron also wheels. Unlikely, but I don't really need Go for the Throat. We have a fair amount of removal. Playcrafter. I'm really liking this deck. Oh, Palancron did come back. Okay. Interesting. I like Moat. Sure. I don't think we're going to be playing a double white spell anymore, but it is possible. Sphinx's Rev. Angel of Revelation. Sphinx's Revelation. Ooh. Wow, so many choices. Probably taking this Mox. The white allows us to play some of these other white cards, maybe. Time Spiral is interesting. Toxic Deluge is also interesting. But being able to ramp quickly is always very, very good. Dak Vaden is also incredibly good in Vintage Cube. I think I'm happy taking the Pearl, though. Well, if I had taken the other one, I could be splashing Nicol Bolas, so there you go. Um, I feel like it's between Preordain and Remand. I don't really have any counters. Well, I have a Cryptic Command, so maybe Remand is better, but this is not so much a combo deck, and I feel like I like the selection from Preordain. Blightsteel Colossus. Oh, there we go! Walking Ballista, infinite mana with Palancron High Tide. Alright. We're gonna play it. Vincer? Get in my life. Snapcaster Mage? Alright, alright. So this kind of counts as a land, so I'm sitting at 23, which is basically where you want to be. You can maybe even play 24 if your deck can support it. I will take Mana Leak. Or, yeah, I will take Mana Leak. Kitesail Freebooter is also really good. What I would really like is like a turnabout. That would be really good. Mystic, oh my god. Brain Freeze. I guess that's something we can put in the sideboard. Sure, I'll take a Toxic Deluge. This one isn't as good with infinite mana because it doesn't actually do anything. This deck is actually really good, I think. I need to pare it down. Mutavault. I mean, it's nice to have manlands, but I don't actually... Yawgmoth's Bargain would be interesting. I'll take the Mutavault. I don't know if I'm going to play it. Creeping Tar Pit came back. Wonderful. I'm definitely not playing Mutavault now. Wow. Well, definitely went into open colors. And take this for good measure. Actually, yeah, I'll take this one for good measure. If that was the Gideon that prevents you from losing the game, I would probably take that. Okay, so we need to... We're at 25, and we're looking for 24 because of the Mox. So which of these cards is probably quote-unquote the worst? They're all so good, though. Rotting Regisaur maybe goes against what the deck is kind of doing. I don't really want to be discarding my cards. And I kind of do want to find room for Mana Leak. Maybe it, well, I can take out Ravenous Chupacabra. I think that's an easy one to take out. Because we're not really interested too much in trying to... And we can take out Damnation. We still have Murderous Rider for removal, but we're hoping to not have to kill our opponent's creatures. That seems fine. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I should be getting rid of Rotting Regisaur, but a turn 2 7/6 seems pretty good. Okay, let's add our basics. Save the deck. And let's play. Alright, so how many islands do we need for Palancron? So it's 4 plus 7, 11. So we need 6 islands for Palancron to make infinite mana with High Tide. So that's definitely not going to happen quickly, and maybe I shouldn't even be trying. This is kind of slow. I guess we'll keep it. It does have a Walking Ballista, which is really good. I'm going to not F6 through the turn. Maybe they'll think I have a Force of Will. The more that I think about it, the more I think that I should take the High Tide combo out. Because it doesn't... It needs 6 islands, which means I need more than 6 lands in order to actually do the thing. Like, do I play Walking Ballista on 1 here? Because I want to hold up Mana Confluence next turn? I think so. I don't know. I mean, if it works out, it works out, but that's 2 cards. That could be the Damnation and the Ravenous Chupacabra. Well, that's terrifying. This can bounce stuff back, right? Yeah. Nope, creatures. Alright, well. Possibly dying. That would be nice. What we may end up doing is just drawing 3 cards with Mystic Confluence at the end of this turn. I'm okay with that. So we're going to counter and draw. And hope they don't have a counter spell or something. If they don't win this turn, I actually think that we win because I can High Tide, I can Scalding Tarn, High Tide. Yes. And I can pump the Walking Ballista large enough to kill them because they are at 5 life after using Bolas's Citadels. But they have 6 mana. Maybe they'll get themselves to 1 and I can kill them with the Walking Ballista. Well, there's nothing I can really do about that. So they are definitely a Storm deck. But we'll see if I die. Hopefully they... I hope that they maybe accidentally kill themselves with their Bolas's Citadel. So what we can do is use 1 island, cast High Tide, tap an island, swamp, Snapcaster Mage, High Tide, and that gives us 6 mana. Oh, that it doesn't actually do what I want. Well, I guess it does actually, because we can use that to pump the Walking Ballista. Although, I don't need to do that if I pump the Walking Ballista once. And then connect with these. Let's make sure that auto yields are off. This is the perennial problem of both playing Storm and playing against Storm, and that is constant waiting with nothing to do because you're trying to decide whether or not you're dead or whether you should try to go off. To note, this is turn 5, and they probably could have won last turn with the was Palancron this turn? Maybe it might have been this turn. But yeah, this is, so far, our deck is handling things okay. All right. Oh no. Okay. This also, so this is a good play from our opponent regardless. If anything, just because it changes the top card on their deck for Bolas's Citadel. So if the top card of their library becomes something like Yawgmoth's Will, that could be a problem. Of course, they could have just grabbed it, although that doesn't actually do much here. Okay. They definitely have a lot of Storm, but I don't know. I guess they could try to get Tendrils of Agony on the top of their library, but they don't have enough mana right now to actually cast it. But they, I mean, they could find rituals and that sort of thing. Dark Ritual. They could also have Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze could be a problem. Oh, they cast that for mana. Okay. There's the Brain Freeze. So I would need to win on my upkeep. I'm not sure that I can. This is exact. Yeah. So I would need to deal 5. And they also, I probably should have just conceded because now they get to look at my entire deck. But I want to see, is there something I could do? There's nothing for me really to flash in. If I Island, High Tide, Swamp Island, Snapcaster Mage, it's not enough. They don't have anything that deals damage to them. I don't have any burn. Okay. Well, let me think for a second. Baral does make things cost 1 less, but that doesn't matter unless I were flashing back an instant. So I could flash back Cryptic Command. That doesn't really do anything. Flashing back Mystic Confluence doesn't do anything. Okay. I have seen enough. Pity. Okay. So I'm going to bring my own Brain Freeze in. And I'm going to take out my High Tide Palancron combo. And bring in Plaguecrafter. Okay, that was an interesting game one. I didn't think they were going to get there, but they did. That's the power of Storm. This hand is great. Absolutely keeping. Probably leading on Jace. Absolutely want to get this Narset down so that I can prevent them from drawing cards. Like that, although they have to discard here, which they could be setting up a Reanimator. Oh, that's interesting. I think I want the Ashiok, though. That gives me a way to win. It's unlikely they have... Well, I guess they could have a I know they have a Palinchron that I could exile with Ashiok. But just being able to exile some key pieces of Storm, like if we get their payoffs for Storm, can help us win the game. All right. I'm just happy slamming this Ashiok. Okay. If they had a thing, they would have Lightning Bolt probably, so I feel comfortable using this. Please brainstorm yourself. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Then we'll pass with Mana Leak up. They know that I have something because I didn't replay the Jace, but they can't use either one of these Jaces to draw cards because of Narset. So I'm less concerned about the Jaces. And I want to make sure that I counter like a kill spell from the Planeswalkers. Um, Whenever a player taps for mana, I guess I need to do this now. I'm not going to get another option. Okay, so that was a good game. Not sure there's anything for me to do. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to change. I can't suddenly have Eidolon of the Great Revel in my deck. That would be probably the best thing to bring in, but it just messes up everything else. So let's run it back. Yeah, I think this is fine. So, to note, I brought in Brain Freeze even though we are not a Storm deck. um, because we can brain freeze them while they're storming off, while they have a draw trigger, potentially. Oh, nice. That's terrifying. This is terrifying. There's nothing I can do about that. Okay, just pass with Mana Leak. We're basically going to pass until we can hopefully resolve the Scarab God or mess up whatever they're trying to do. Oh, they put Jace? Interesting. We're going to try to resolve Ashiok next turn when we can have Mana Leak up as well. Crack Catacombs. Really? Play our Ashiok. They're a very explosive deck, Storm. It's possible that if they actually do counter Ashiok, um, I should be holding on to Mana Leak anyway to counter something key to their game plan. This does get them closer to being able to use the Shelldock Isle. But that's okay. The lower that we get their library, the more that our brain freeze might actually be able to do something against them. I'm going to counter this Frantic Search. That leaves them with 2 cards in hand. It means that they can't flip their Search for Azcanta. What are they doing in their upkeep? Ah, okay. So I gave them Jace and Turnabout because I think that those are the weaker of the cards. I also gave them 2 lands, which is fine. They can't play either. Well, I guess they could play the Jace if they tap Azcanta. But either way, the Azcanta was flipping, regardless of the piles that I chose. Um, and this isn't as scary for me, in my opinion anyway. Is there a world where I brain freeze them right here? 3, 6, 9, 12. 1, 2, 3. Nope, not quite. But this does let us leave up Brain Freeze and Mystic Confluence. So they're going to have to go for it pretty soon. Every time their library gets smaller, more likely that I exile whatever their win condition is for their storm. So I need 4. I need them to do 3 storm count, and then I can brain freeze, and that would be 4. This has been an interesting match. Okay, they've played their land for turn. If they're just passing, that's just letting our Ashiok get even more of their library. Okay. Well, unfortunate. They can absolutely see the rest of the cards that they have. So that must be getting... Okay. I misplayed that. I should have countered with Mystic Confluence. That would have been a storm count of 2, and then I could have brain freezed, and that would have killed them. So if we lose right here, that's absolutely my misplay. I should have given more thought to what they were doing. They have to go for it here. If they don't, they're passing with Ash, like... Ah, Yawgmoth's Will! Dang it. Alright. Is there anything I can do on their upkeep? I'm gonna have them play it out. It's unlikely, but potential that maybe they don't get there. Maybe they accidentally draw too many cards. Ah! I lost this game. I misplayed last turn. Seven times, that's 21. They just really need one more storm. So if they brain freeze here, I'd be at 0 cards in library. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. I see the brain freeze that I had. Ah, if I had drawn an island, we also would have been fine. Shame. I don't think... Not... I don't think there's anything I can do about this. I can't force them to draw... If Mystic Confluence could target player draws a card. I don't have anything with flashback in my library. Well, that's just unnecessary. Alright. Shame. I lost that. I misplayed. Absolutely could have won. I just should have thought more. I honestly, what happened was I thought that they were going to try to storm out on my upkeep so that any mana that I use, they would be free to do on their turn. And I forgot that Turnabout can tap lands. I should have read Turnabout more carefully. That is absolutely my mistake. Very easily could have won that. Oh, I wanted to take this out. I'm tilted. This is not a good hand. I mean, this is a hand we're keeping. But the Scarab got back. I guess we'll preordain first. As much as I would like Rotting Regisaur and Scalding Tarn, I don't have any black mana, so I can't keep the Rotting Regisaur, even though it would probably be good in this deck. Ah, I'm so disappointed. I'm gonna go with Jace. Just because it requires a turn for Jace to be able to be used, and so I want to try to get the Summoning Sickness out as quickly as I can. Ah, I could have won that first match. I'm so disappointed. Ah, just get better, Jocelyn. Alright, let's see what we're playing against. White is not known for being unfair necessarily, so... Oh, okay, they have blue. Oh, wow. Before I play lands, I want to tap and draw. I could draw, what's it called? Hymn to Torak, in which case I'd want to play the Swamp. It's too early for Tasigur. Ponder first, and then Baleful Strix. I want all of this. So, put on top, put on top, put on top. No? Fantastic. Pretty happy with that hymn. Flipping our Jace next turn, assuming that it survives whatever this is. A 5, 4/4, that's fine. Baleful Strix is going to shut that down. We know what we're drawing. What are we discarding? I guess actually that means what I should do first is draw, because I know that I want the Cryptic Command, and I also think that I want this land. They They have one card left in hand. We're going to shrink the Avacyn a bit in case they're able to kill this Baleful Strix. Not the best use of our mana. We could have flashbacked like Ponder or Preordain. I considered flashing back Hymn to Torak, but I wanted the island for Cryptic Command. Like I wanted to build towards Cryptic Command because it's so powerful. Okay. They should get rid of Jace, not Baleful Strix. Yeah. Can't attack with the Archangel because Baleful Strix is an insane magic card. That's a really good draw. What do I want to do? I can play Tasigur this turn. Just not leave anything up because I can't use any of my counter spells anyway. Yeah, I think I like that. Leave stuff in the graveyard to get back. Mana Tithe? Alright. You got me, buddy. You got me. They need to draw something ridiculously good here. Okay. I'm pretty confident. We need to draw another land, but I'm pretty confident we're going to win this game. Okay, I'm incredibly confident we're winning this game. I do not even care about that. I'm just going to draw 3 cards with this Mystic Confluence. Play this Ashiok and start killing. I'm leaving up Murderous Rider so that I can kill Archangel Avacyn or some other creature, Planeswalker that they play. Ugin, I guess, would be bad. That would probably be the worst draw, but I would still be able to kill it. Okay, so I guess I need to play around the Mana Tithe. We're taking out the High Tide. Ravenous Chupacabra is going to be good here, and so is Toxic Deluge. I'm taking Deluge instead of Damnation because it's 1 mana faster, which can be the biggest difference. I guess I could also bring in Sword of Light and Shadow. I don't have that many creatures, I don't think. Oh, I have a lot more creatures than I thought I did. What would I take out for Sword of Light and Shadow? Could probably take out Narset. I don't really want to take out... I guess I could take out the Scarab God. This is not my favorite sword, but giving protection from white could be good. Yeah, we're going to keep this. Turn 2 Ophiomancer. Okay. Oh. Interesting. Or turn 2 Ashiok, actually. I think I need to bottom the Cryptic. We're really far away from actually casting that. Nice, got rid of balance and banishing light. We know that they have an Oblivion Ring, so they do have an out for this Ashiok. Probably playing Ophiomancer. I'm not sure how they can really deal with Death Touch. I don't really want to be... Nice. And the Oblivion Ring? Nice. I don't want to play Rotting Regisaur. I don't want to be discarding my hand. If I did not have Ashiok on the battlefield, I would play Rotting Regisaur because that is a different kind of clock. But Ashiok by itself is also a clock. Okay. Yeah, they just didn't have that much to deal with our deck. So I'm taking the High Tide combo out, and I'm gonna bring in. I think I'm gonna bring in Toxic Deluge and Playcrafter. Playcrafter can hit Planeswalkers. Yeah, I'm happier with that than trying to pull off Palinchron High Tide. You really want to be more mono blue for that. And Turnabout. All right, match 3. And on the play, turn 2 Regisaur. Um, I'm gonna keep it. This is an incredibly greedy keep. But it's a really good hand. I want both of those. Jace will hopefully allow us to find more lands. I'm going to go with Brawl. If we draw another island, Brawl actually allows us to play Cryptic. This is terrifying. Oh, that's not that bad. Okay. I'll get a loot with Brawl with Mana Leak. And it lets me play Terramander. And hold up Mana Leak. I can flip my Jace next turn. Okay. I'd rather keep Walking Ballista than Toxic Deluge. One, two, three, four. So I can't quite do Terramander's Adapt. I could have. Holding up Cryptic. And at end of turn, if they do nothing, I probably will pass anyway, but I could adapt the Pteramander. Letting that happen. They have a lot of mana. They have 8 mana. I might be flashing back Preordain or something next turn. They're trying to decide whether I have a counterspell or not. Never counter the tutor, always counter whatever they tutored for. So if they want to go find Force of Will or something like that, I'm okay with it. I wish that I knew what they grabbed with Demonic Tutor, but it's one of the ones that doesn't reveal because it can be any card. If I draw a swamp, I am probably going to flashback Duress. I think I can counter draw. That's actually a pretty decent draw as well. Let's see what you got. Let's get that Jace out of here. And then... One, two, three, four, five. Moat. Sounds good. This flies. And we're just gonna... interesting. So I can counter this... Draw card. I could also Venser, put it back because they don't have a way of making white. I think we'll just counter twice, draw a card. Because they have 1, 2, 5 mana available. Probably get rid of this Rotting Regisaur. Yeah. This needs to be a good draw for them. Okay. Hit a bunch of lands, so that's not good for me. Increases the likelihood of them drawing gas here. But they played Moat, so any ground creatures are not going to be Winds of Banyan Sphinx and Path to Exile. I'm just going to pass with Venser and just win with Ashiok instead of trying to land a Scarab God. I'm also going to get to see their whole deck. Bonfire of the Damned. I mean, I could have actually done a Walking Ballista for one there. Okay. So, they are a very heavy control deck. So we do need to be fast. I actually like the sword. It doesn't help against the Jace, but it does... And it doesn't help against Wrath of God. I can take out my Toxic Deluge. Is there anything good that I have? I could bring in Palancron just because it flies. I could bring in Brain Freeze to try to mill them out. No, I think that's it. I don't think our deck is necessarily well suited to go against theirs. We may have just gotten lucky. Yeah, let's give it a go. It's not as fast as I would like, but we could always draw the Mox. I'm leading with the Swamp here in case we draw, nope, not Hercules. What is that? Black, black, discard 2 cards at random. I can't think of the name now. I've said it several times during this, and I can't think of the name. I don't know. Oh, interesting. It's not Hercules Recall. It has a picture of a wolf on it, or it has a picture of an old wizard. That's gonna bug me. Uh-oh. That's not good. They may have been getting a land, though. Oh, Hymn to Torak. That's the one. I think I'm going to play the Rotting Regisaur. And just try to get him. And I'll discard the Scarab God, I guess. This is a 3-turn clock. They are going to bounce it with the Cloud Skate, but... Okay. I wonder if I actually get rid of the Scalding Tarn. Wrath of God and Lightning Helix. Nice. Okay. That's not surprising. It's a big beefy boy after all. Now I can play Tasigur and feel better about it. Realistically, I'm going to Snapcaster him. They probably have a counter spell. This could be Mystic Confluence. Oh, okay. Lingering Souls, that's... eh. Such is life. Probably not playing Rotting Regisaur now. I'm gonna try to slam Scarab God. Just moat. Okay. There we go. All right. So that deck was pretty sweet. We could have gone 3-0, but I misplayed in match 1. But I hope you enjoyed watching. That is Vintage Cube. I haven't put out a video in a while, and here you go. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. This has been Jericho Plays.